Hey y'all. Hi, day 66. Today I have a message that was inspired from a client that I had yesterday. And she reminded me of something that I've learned the hard way, I feel. And so I hope this will nourish you and support you. And if you resonate with it, hopefully it will encourage you to lean in and expand. So, one of the interesting things when my client first arrived to the office is I noticed there was a lot of tension in her body. And this isn't uncommon. I work in therapy, I work in service to the body and to the emotions. So oftentimes clients come and they feel quite tense or imbalanced in some way. And we work to assist the body and to move whatever it is that needs to be moved out or through. So this wasn't the thing that really resonated as unique. It was more so her opening up immediately, her deep vulnerability. And as soon as she entered the space and we saged her and we sat with cacao, she just poured her heart out and just said how much she was suffering and how real it felt for her and her experiences and the arguments and the bitterness and frustration, resentment, and was just so open and honest and raw. And it really, brought a tear to my eye because I thought about how many times I too have felt like raw and hurt and emotional and scared and in the middle. I felt in the middle of a problem has occurred. I'm here and a solution is yet to arise. I've yet to come to the other side. And that in the middle space is so tender and precious. And I really saw myself in her and I saw a lot of humanity in her. And I felt so incredibly inspired by her ability to just say, here I am in all of my messiness, in the middle, in the void, in the rawness, and I need help. I need support. I need someone to listen to me. And it felt like my 59 gene key that I've spoken often about, which is a very beautiful key that connects to the channel of mating. And it's all about intimacy that ultimately has the potential to become transparency. And it moves out of the shadow of dishonesty. And all dishonesty in our world, Richard suggests, comes from an initial dishonesty with ourselves, a severing of the truth within us and our being. And so, therefore, of course, with others, we don't know how to be honest. We don't even know where to begin, how to be intimate, because we've yet to become intimate with our own soul, our own feelings, our own emotions, our own situations in life. And so, excuse me, it was a beautiful reminder. And I really honored her. And I said, she was sort of apologizing for being so it just poured out of her, and it was gorgeous. It was so beautiful to witness. And as a practitioner and as a space holder, I felt incredibly honored because I know that in order for that kind of outpouring of transparency to occur, there needed to first be safety and trust within the space, within my office, within our dynamic. So I felt incredibly honored to be able to witness her humanity and to be able to assist in bringing whatever her guides wanted to bring through for her. And she ultimately did end leaving feeling so much brighter and lighter and sort of just emptied out. Just that anger and resentment and bitterness was just poured out. And it was held and it was burned and it was given to the earth and we transmuted it. And Mama Cacao really came in and just held her and soothed her and rocked her like a little baby. Just let her know all of it was human and okay. And the Reiki as well was super duper nourishing and brought in so many new codes for her. Once the cool thing about an emotional purge like that is we make space for something new to come in. We lighten the load of our body. And it was just divine, and it reminded me of so many times in my life where I've been in the middle, in the void, in the in between space, very desperately needing help, really craving connection from a wiser or third party perspective, and not feeling bold enough or brave enough to go there with someone. Not feeling like I needed to have this certain image of myself held in my own mind and held in their eyes, and I I wouldn't let myself be held. And I think as women especially, we are remembering that what we crave so deeply from the masculine is to be held. And I think it begins with our sisters for many of us, allowing ourselves to be held by another woman, and allowing ourselves to be held by the male, the masculine, and knowing that we are not too much. There's not too muchness in us. And knowing as well that we don't have to be reasonable, forgiving ourselves for having a moment and not holding ourselves to this extremely high standard when we're experiencing something that's extremely human and natural and normal. And so it's that constriction and judgment of ourselves that we then project onto others and say, surely they're going to judge me because look how I'm judging me. And that's again where we have that dishonesty, that severing of us with us, and then therefore us with another. And then we wonder, we have the audacity to wonder why we feel so alone, why we feel so isolated, why we don't feel held and supported. And the truth that might feel a bit harsh is the divide happened first within ourselves, between us and God, between us and then us and our fellow brothers and sisters. So it was such an incredible session. And her energy was such a gift to me. And I was so excited to be able to share it with you guys and encourage you and remind me that when you're in the middle is the perfect space to create intimacy with another and with yourself, most importantly, to say, I feel stuck. I need help. Help someone. To pray that prayer is the ultimate form of humility and surrender. It's really actually, we think it's the higher road, but it's actually the road of the ego when we say, no, I don't want to burden them with my stuff. I'll just handle it on my own. I'll just keep it inside. I'll just shove it down. I'll just read a book away. I'll podcast it away. I'll, sometimes even walk outside and just distract and numb instead of saying, I need to connect with another human on this. Who do I trust? Who resonates? Is there someone I can hire? Is there someone I know? Is there a friend that can hold that for me? And then allow yourself to be truly honest with the ugliness, the messiness, the parts of you that you judge. Let yourself be seen. Again, it's what we have the audacity to say we don't have. We have that audacity to say, no one sees me, no one gets me. These victim stories that are so common in our collective and in our self-talk when we are at our lowest spots. I know I certainly have felt that way sometimes when I feel rejected or I feel abandoned and I feel like no one gets me. No one's here for me. I'm here for everyone else. I show up for everyone else. No one's there for me. I mean, that's my lowest low of victim story. And it's not true. It's based completely in fallacies. It's a fallacy of separation. And then I reinforce that separation by continuing to tell myself that narrative, that victim story. I'm alone. Yeah. Okay. The universe is like, check. You want to be alone because you keep saying that, because you keep wanting that. You keep focusing on that. So I hope this serves you. I hope this encourages you to be brave when you are in the middle of something. Reach out to a practitioner you trust. Reach out to a friend, a family member. Journal. Pray. Go into prayer, communion with spirit, communion with your soul, and say, we are hurting. This breakup hurt me. or this rejection, this ghosting, this abandonment, these words, this someone spoke to me, their actions, their behaviors, this hurts. It hurts me. And I want to move through it. And I want to see my side of it. And I want to find a solution. And I need help. I need someone to hold space for me, mirror some things back to me. So lean into those opportunities. And then you may find this big, scary in between void space lasts only for a flicker, only for a glimmer. What if it only lasted a day? What if it only lasted 2 hours? What if you could quantumly move on and truly process instead of move on and not ever really process it? And then another trigger comes up as a gift to help you see that thing you shoved down and say, remember this? Remember this? We're going to heal this now? We're going to do this now? And you're like, no, 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 no. It's too messy. It's too ugly. I don't want to go there. I don't have time for that. No one has time for me. No one's going to hold space for me, whatever narrative you make up. And so the wounding just gets shoved down, but not as deep. Every time it happens, not as deep, not as deep, not as deep until you're walking around wounded and everyone sees it and you feel it. And you're so adaptable that you get used to walking around crippled. You just adapt to it and you're like, it's fine. It's just a little limp. It's fine. I can still get from point A to point B. Can't slow down though. Can't look at this. Can't look at why this hurts. Eventually, life again will gift you with enough opportunities to force you to face it so that you can create intimacy with yourself, transparency with your soul, and then connect and truly be held and loved by another, which is what we all want so deeply. So, my challenge, my question to you is how can you create deeper level of intimacy and transparency with yourself, and then let that spill over and express to another? I love you. See you tomorrow.